Hello friends, today we will discuss about some important concepts of C# programming. So here are the topics. What are constructors of string in C#? What are operators of string and compare method? What is Unicode? What are arrays of strings? What is ToCharArray? How to declare char and string array with fixed and dynamic size. So let's begin. First topic we have constructor of strings. So what is constructor of strings? In C#, strings can be created using constructors of the string class, although most strings are created using literals. String variable name equal to string value. Constructors allows creating strings from char array or by repeating a character. So constructor of strings is mainly used if we want to create any constructor or we want to append any new value from the char arrays to the string, then we can use this constructor in strings. If we have some characters into that char arrays, then we can add into the string while we are initializing the new string. Then we can add that char array into that particular string. If we want to display some data, then we can use that. Suppose if we want to repeat some characters, means if we want to have some characters of same length, then we can mention that character name and then total length. Here we have the example of constructors. Here we have char arrays, and here are the letters, 5 letters. While we are generating this char arrays, it only grab single character at a time. But here is a list. We are using arrays of char, then we are adding multiple characters but in single quotes. Next we are initializing string, and with the new string it is a constructor of strings where we put these letters into that constructor, while it will combine all these characters into single value, and it will display us the hello value. Next if we want to repeat a character, suppose if we want to print this star for 5 times, here we have to put the length, where we set the size of the asterisk sign. Here it will print 5 times asterisk sign with this one while we are using new string constructor. Now let's see this one example in Visual Studio. Now let's see constructor of string. Constructors of string. Suppose here we have some character arrays. First we have to generate some values here. So here are characters of arrays. This is the way where we can describe the arrays of characters. But here is the thing, it is using the indexing, means it always starts from 0. Wherever if we are using arrays concept, it will start from 0 indexing, 0 1 2 3 4 5, means 0 to 5 characters we have. Total length is 6. Next if we want to put it into the string, then first we have to initialize the string. We are creating the instance of the string, and in the constructor if we want to put this array, then it will combine all the characters into a single value, then it will show this value in console. Array. Now let's see this one. So here is the value which we put earlier, means single characters into that char array. It combines all that characters into a single value and it displays us coding. Total values in single string. So this is the concept of constructor of string. If we want to combine all the characters which we first initialized into character array, then we can put all the character array into that particular string while we are creating the instance of the string, and in the constructor we can put that character of arrays. Next thing, if we want to repeat some values, then we can do it in this way. Suppose like this. If we want to print this a for 10 times, then we have to provide the total number of count, how many times we want to display this a, increase it or decrease it as per our requirement. Suppose here we want to display this one. Now let's see the result. So here we have 10 times a alphabet. So it prints all a alphabet for 10 times. If we want to repeat that character, then we can do it in this way. And if we have character of arrays and we want to initialize through the constructor of string, then we can do it in this way. So these are constructor of strings. Next we have operators of string. Here we have the description. Plus signature means it concatenates two strings. As we already know about concatenation, if we want to add multiple string, then we can use plus sign. Next we have double equals to. If we want to check two strings that are equal or not, then we can check it with double equals. Next we have, if we want to check the two strings are not equal, then we can use this syntax, not equal to. Here we have the example of this one. First we are checking that this string is equal to or not. Next we are checking it is not equal to, then only it will execute this code. And the third one we have the concatenation. Let's see the operators of the string. Of string. Suppose here we have some value. So grammars same as that second value and then third value. Here we want to change the values into this one. Now let's check the operators. If first value is equals to second value, how it will react. The right line. Here we can print that equal values, equal to first value equals second value, and this gives us the boolean result, means true or false. Next if we want to check that some string is not equal to, then only this condition will work. Not equal to. Now let's check this one. So here is printing not equal to true. Here is the value of second if condition, means third condition, third string and fourth string are not equal. So this condition is true here and it executes inside code, but it gives us a boolean value, means true or false. For this one we have true value, but it isn't execute this one code because the values are not equal, first value and second value. And suppose if we want to check it with fourth one, these are equal values, then how it will react. Now let's check this one. Now we have first one value, that is true, means first string is equal to fourth string. At that time it will work. It gives us always true or false value, means in return. So this is the concept of operators of string. Suppose if we want to concatenate all these strings into a single one, then how we can do, as we already know about this one. Let's go through once again. First value we have, want to concatenate second value and third value, then we concatenate fourth value. So these are the all values. So in this way concatenate. Now let's see this one result. So here are the all combined values, programmers, C# developers and programmers then. So this is the concatenation concept, as we already know about this one. So these are the operators. If we want to check the operations, means if we want to check the values of string that are equal or not, in this way we can use, or if we want to concatenate any string, then we can do it in this way. Next we have compare methods. Here we have the description of compare method. It compares two strings and return an integer. Whenever if we want to use the compare method and we want to compare two strings, then only it will give us a return integer, not any boolean value, not any string value. It will only return us the integer value, means 0, -1 or 1. For 0, if both strings are equal, then it will give us 0 value. And if a first string is smaller than second one, then it will give us -1. Suppose if we have the condition where it is matched with the first string is greater than second string, then it will give us 1 result. How string.compare method works internally? It starts comparing from the first character to both strings. First it check the first character of both string values, means if we have two string values, and then only it will check the first characters of each value. If characters are same, then it moves to the next character. If the characters are same for the first or second string, then it will move to the next character for both strings. If it finds a difference, it subtracts the Unicode value of one character from the other. If there is any difference, means first value second character is different with the second string value, then it set according to that Unicode value. We will check about a Unicode value in after this one. Next, if a result less than equal to 0, then it will check that first string is smaller, then it will give us -1. And if the result is greater than, means first string is greater than second one, then it will give us 1 value in return. In integer value it will give us. If all characters match but a length difference, the shortest string is considered smaller. If all characters are matched successfully but lengths are different for both of the string, then it will consider the shortest string as small. Means if the first string is smaller length than the second one, then it will consider first one small, and then it will give us -1 result in a return. Next we have a compare method example. Suppose if the strings are matched, then it will give us 0 value, and here is the thing, it is comparing according to the Unicode number, means A have 65 number, B have 66 number, so it is comparing with one another. So B is a greater value, so it is giving us -1 in that scenario. Third case we have C and B. C value is 67 but B value is 66, so it is considering C, means first string, as greater than the second one, so it is giving us 1 value. Now let's see the compare method. Suppose if we have here coding value in second, we have that same value dot right line equals value string dot compare method. Here we can compare both strings. Now let's see this one. Now it is giving us a 0, means both values are equal, so that's why this is the result of equality. T0 value. Next, suppose here we have basics. Now let's see this one result. Greater value will give us most probably one value. Now first one is giving us one value because it has different value, means now it is considering it with Unicode value. First one C, its value is 67 and B is value 66. So while considering both strings, it consider first one is greater than second one, so it is giving us one value. Next case we have lower value. Here we can set this is most probably it will give us -1 value for lower values. Here it is for greater value, here it is for equality. Now let's see this one result. Now it is giving us -1 value, as it is considering both strings are different. Now it is comparing along with the first characters. First we have B, that's value 66 and C is value 67. So it is considering that first string is less than the second one, so it is giving us -1 value. So these are compare method. If we have both strings where we are performing equality operations, then in that scenario it will give us 0 value, and if first one is greater than the second value, then it will give us 1 value, and third one is that if first value is less than the second value, then it will give us -1 value. So these are the compare methods in string. Next we have Unicode concept, as we already studied about it earlier into our compare method, where we used Unicode characters. So what are Unicode characters? A Unicode character is a standard that assigns a unique numeric code point to every character in all major writing systems. For example, English, Hindi, Chinese, symbols, emojis, etc. Suppose if we are using Unicode, these are the unique values which we are using into this one, because in Unicode it provides us numeric code, means 2 values for every character. If we have any capital letters or any lower letters, then it will provide us the fixed value for that particular character. These are same, means these are unique characters. unique values we have. In C Sharp, strings and char values are stored in UTF-16 encoding, means each character is represented as a 16-bit 2 bytes value. So it is a UTF-16 encoding, means each character is considered as a 16-bit, means 2 bytes value it will have. Every character, every string value, every char value if we have, then it will follow the UTF-16 encoding procedure. So whenever you write A in C Sharp, internally it is stored as Unicode 65. So this is the value of A character. If we want to use A character in any value, in any string or any char values, then its original value is 65, which is worked in internally, means it is assigned internally. So here are some capital letters with uppercase. Here we have A to Z characters, and here are the values from 65 to 90. So these values are assigned internally for these characters. And here we have small letters for lowercase. Here we have small alphabet for A to Z, and this value is started from 97 to 122. So these are the fixed constant values which is assigned internally for these alphabet characters. Whenever we want to use these characters, these values are assigned internally for these characters, in especially in string or in char values. Next we have arrays of string. So what are arrays of strings? An array of string is a collection that stores multiple string values in a single variable. Each element in the array can be accessed using its index starting from 0. So any array of string, if we initialize, then it can store multiple values inside this array. Means if we have multiple string values, then we can assign those string values to an arrays. But it's used with indexing. If we want to add some 3-4 values into that array, then it start the indexing from 0, always from 0. This is the basic requirement of using indexing and arrays. Here we have the example. We are storing some values, 4 values into that string of arrays. Here we are initializing this string of arrays, and if we want to print those values, then we have to use for loop or for each loop, whatever loop we can use for printing. Now let's see the arrays of string here. Arrays of string. Suppose here we have some values, and here we want to put some values into this one. Programmers, Sharp, coding, developers. Now these are the 4 values which we assigned to this array string. And if we want to display these values, then for this we can use for loop or for each loop, whatever we can use. But with the loop we only display these values one by one in a sequence. Print this array, then we can print it one by one. And if we want to check the indexing, then also we can check it. Array of string. Now let's check this one. Here we have 4 values with indexing, means the indexing starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 counts with indexing 0 to 3. So it prints all the values in a sequence with for loop, and we can also use for each loop. It totally depends on our choice. But here is the thing of arrays of string. In this way we can initialize the arrays of string. We can do it with dynamically, so it totally depends on our requirements. So these are the arrays of string. Next we have ToCharArray. So what is ToCharArray method? The method is used to convert a string into a character array. Char array, each character of the string becomes a separate element in the array. Suppose if we have any string value, then if we want to separate those values one by one for the characters, and we want to display it into our character string, then we can use a ToCharArray method for this one. Here we have the string, and here we declare the char arrays, and we use this ToCharArray method for this one to split up the values individually, and we put these values into this char array. And if we want to display these values, then we can use for each loop or for loop. Now let's see the ToCharArray method. Suppose here we have some value, and we want to put it into our char array. How we can do it? In this way we can first initialize the char array, and we can split up the values with the ToCharArray. Now it will split up all the characters, means 6 characters we have, and it will put all single character into that character array. And if we want to display it, then we can use for each loop for this one. Here we have to set it char array right line. Here we can display char array. Now let's see this one result. So here we have the result. We put a string value into that character array, and with the ToCharArray method, it will split up all the values in single line, means it put single character into single line and next character into next line. Here we have the coding, but all characters into the multiple lines. So if we have any requirement where we want to split up the values in characters form, then we can use ToCharArray method, and we can put these values into char array. And for displaying these values, for printing these values, we can use for each loop. Without this loop, it will not display all values. Now let's have a look on this one. First we have to put this. Now let's see this one result. Now directly array will not display, it will display us this thing, system.charArray, means all the values in the array. So if we want to display it, we have to use for each loop, or any loop we can use. Next we have declaring char array with size. If we want to set the size of the character array dynamically or fixed, then we can do it in this way. A char array is used to hold multiple characters. So a char array is considered to be hold multiple characters at a time. You can fix the size when declaring it. We can also fix the size if we are declaring it, means how many characters we want to insert into that character of array. Then next thing, we have create dynamic char array by giving a user input. So here we have the example of char array. Here we are creating the instance of char array, and where we fixed the size of the char array. We do not create more than these length. If we want to create this one, then it will give us the error. Here we have 5 characters, means it starts from 0 indexing, always start from 0 to 4 characters we only add. Now let's see the char array. So in this way we can initialize it. Here we can create the instance of the char array, then we can set the values, total values we want to add. Here we can add in this way, single character only we can add. Here we have to change the values also, means indexing value we have to change. Here we provide 4 values. This is the length where we set the size of this character array, and it starts from 0 to 3. So here is the value, single characters we have. So if we want to display all the characters into single string, how we can do it? We can do it in this way, new string characters. We can put that char array into this one. It will combine all these characters into single one and displays the single value. So here we have the combined value, that is code. So this is the value. These are character arrays. First we initialize it through the initialization of char array, where we set the fixed size of 4. We can increase it, we can decrease it, and suppose if we add more characters as expected, we add 5 count into this one. Now let's see what will be the output. It is giving us the exception because it is not handled. If we set the size according to that of the characters, not more than that, it will give us an array in that scenario. We can also set this one dynamically. Console.readline, where we can get the input from the user and we can set this value dynamically. Here we can give 4 value for this one. Now it is giving us code value. Suppose here we provide less value than expected. Here we have 4 length, we provide 4 characters for this one, and we only set 3 length for this one. Now it is giving us the error for this one. So as many as characters we can print, but we have to set the value here first, then only we can initialize it and we can insert the characters with the char arrays. Next we have declaring string array with size. A string array is used to hold multiple words text. So if we want to use string arrays, then it holds multiple string values into that arrays. You can fix the size while declaring. So this is the same case as in character array. We can set the size while we are initializing it. Each element is null by default unless you assign values. If we do not assign any value to this one, it will give us null values. We can also do it with dynamically. We can provide dynamic value through the input. Here we set the value for string, and here we are initializing it, and we are creating the instance of the new string, and we are providing 3 values for this one, and with for loop we can display these values. Now let's see the string array. So in this way we can initialize the string of arrays. So these square brackets are the arrays, means any amount of values we can add, but we have to set the size, or we can do it in dynamic way also. String array, new string So if we provide for length for this one, and now we have to put the values according to the index. Indexing is very important. It always starts from 0 whenever if we talk about any arrays. So we have to use the indexing, means it starts from 0 value. Developers and coding. Now if we want to print this one, then we have to use the loop. String array right line string arrays. Now let's see this output. So we have all the values. It prints all the values in sequence. So if we want to use the arrays concept with the string, then we have to first set the values, how many values we want to add or append into that string. Text we want to add into this one. First we have to set the values, and then we can append these values in this way, but start from 0 index. Suppose if we want to set these values dynamically, then we can do in this way also. Here we set 3 value for this, but we initialize 4 values, so it is giving us the error. Now we have 4 values, then we have to use 4 length. Now it is giving us the true output for all values in a sequence. So this is the concept of string arrays. Suppose here we set 0 for all that. Now what will happen? Now it is giving us the last value, because we only initialize 0 indexing, not 1 2 3 4. For that we have 4 values for indexing, but we initializing only 0 value, so it grab the last value for this one. For this one it grabs coding only, it removes all these one. Means if we initialize 0 index for every time for all values, then the last value it will grab, then it will show that 4th value for this indexing. Next we have today's summary. Let's revise what we learned today. Constructor of strings in CSharp. It is used to create new string objects from character arrays or other data. Suppose if we want to add some new string through the constructors, then how we can do it? Then we can do it with the constructor of string, where we are initializing some string arrays. If we have character of arrays, then we can put that character of array into that string, then it will combine all the characters into a single value, and then it will print that value. Second, if we want to repeat the characters, then we can set the length and the character name, means which character we want to print. At that things we can use it with the constructors of a string. Next one is operators of strings and compare method. It allows concatenation, equality checks and comparison between strings. So if we want to use operators of strings, we can check that strings are equal or not with double equals, and if we want to check that strings are not equal, then we can use that not equal to sign. And if we want to concatenate the multiple string, then we can do it with the plus symbol. And if we want to compare the strings, if both the string values are same, means characters are same, then it will give us 0 value. and then if first value is greater than second one, then it will provide us one value. Third condition is that if first value is less than second value, then it will give us -1. It will always give us integer in return in comparison method. Next one is Unicode is a universal character encoding standard in C# utf-16 that represents text from all languages, symbols and emojis in a consistent way. So Unicode is a universal character encoding standard in C#, that is utf-16. Means these are the fixed value which provide to each character. If we want to use the A character, then it will internally set the or assign the value 65 for A characters. Means A to Z we have a total fixed value internally, it will work. And next one, arrays of strings, a collection that stores multiple strings value in indexed form. If we want to put all the strings into arrays, then how we can do it? We can do it with string of arrays. We want to put all the string values into that particular arrays and we want to display it, then we can use for loop or for each loop. Next we have ToCharArray method. It converts a string into an array of individual characters. Suppose if we have any string value, then we want to split up the value and a single character we want to print into each line, then we can use ToCharArray method and then we can put all these value into that char of arrays. Next one is to declare char array and string array fixed or dynamic. If arrays can be created with predefined size or grown dynamically. If we want to use char array or string array, first we have to fix the values or we can set it dynamically. We can get the user input and according to that we can display all the values in a sequence. And in char array we can add multiple characters, not values, only characters it supports. And string array it supports values, means text. We can set it as a fixed, means a static value we can put, or we can do it in dynamic way. So these are the topics we study today. You can practice them to your Visual Studio. If you have any doubts related with these topics, you can mention them into the comment section. So let's wind up today's session. Thanks. See you in the next lecture.